You know, I've always wondered what it would be like to have an evil doppelganger. Hey everyone, Brobuscus here, and welcome back to another Let's Watch of Death Battle. Today's episode has been out for nearly 2 hours at the point of this recording. I've been waiting for a little bit on this one. It is Goku Black from Dragon Ball versus Reverse Flash from DC Comics. At this point, I think we all know, at least have a pretty good idea of what the rest of the season's like. If you've seen the Death Battle Season 8, like the second half of Season 8 teaser. If you didn't, then I'm not going to say a word, but just know that it's out there. Okay. How do I know these characters? So, straight up, I have not seen Dragon Ball Super. And I don't think I'm ever going to see Dragon Ball Super. I don't know. Something about it didn't sit right with me when I first saw it announced. I'm going to move the camera down. Maybe that's my problem. Yep. Okay. That's better. Okay, yeah. Not seen Dragon Ball Super. I've seen clips. I've seen clips of Goku Black specifically to lead up to this fight. But I've not seen a single full episode of Dragon Ball Super. And I don't think I ever will. I've kind of fallen out of Dragon Ball. Not gonna lie. I saw the Broly movie. I thought that was pretty cool. But before that, the last piece of Dragon Ball media I watched was Resurrection of F. So I just kind of fell out of it. It just doesn't really appeal to me anymore. I don't know why. But I do know some things about Goku Black. He was a Supreme Kai named Zamasu, or Zamasu. I've never been comfortable enough to pronounce that name. I probably said that wrong, but you know what? We're sticking with it. He wanted absolute power. He wanted to, like, destroy all mortals. Because he thought that mortals were, like, the bane of existence or something. I don't remember. So he met Goku, like the original Goku, and he thought, man, this guy's really powerful. So why don't I kill my master, take a time ring, take the Supreme Dragon Balls, or the Super Dragon Ball, sorry, swap bodies with Goku, and then kill all mortals. And then he became Goku Black. So, yeah. As for, that's pretty much the bulk of my knowledge. Like, I know more stuff about him, but that's pretty much the bulk of what I really need to know about him as a character. As for Reverse Flash, alias Eobard Thawne, which is both the coolest and dumbest name at the same time. His whole purpose in life is to make Barry Allen's life a living hell. By any means necessary, even if it's absolutely petty and doesn't really mean much. And you know what? I kind of love it. Like, Thawne is an absolutely awful dude, but he does his goals in such a way that I can't help but laugh. He's just such an enjoyable villain. I don't know what it is. I'm sure they'll go over it in this episode. Yeah, Thawne is probably the pettiest DC character in existence, and I kind of love it that way. So, if it wasn't obvious, I pointed in a completely wrong... I didn't point correctly, but you know what? Again, we're sticking with it. Yeah, I'm ready for Reverse Flash. Which is a good thing, because, I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. Goku Black ain't winning. Goku Black is not winning this episode. Now, there's a bit of a debate going on over whether or not they should include like fused Zamasu or infinite Zamasu, which became a universe or something, like merged with the universe. I don't remember. But if this was just regular, which I think they should do this just because it fits better. If this was just regular, basic, killable Goku Black, Reverse Flash is stronger. He's faster. Basically, okay. Think Wally versus Archie Sonic, but on the gap is wider. You all know how ridiculous Wally versus Archie Sonic was. Yeah, this one is a lot more clear cut. It's the same result, but a lot more clear cut. Because Goku Black isn't like this. He's powerful, but he's not Archie Sonic. He should be comparable to Goku and Beerus's universe destroying Flash. And yeah, that's about the bulk of and obviously multipliers with Super Saiyan Rose, which is dumbest Super Saiyan name I've ever heard. Whatever. But yeah, so, and he should be comparable to that in speed. They should be attacking at, like, I forget how fast. It's at least, it's faster than light. It's way faster than light. That's cool and all, but Thawne kind of turns that and makes it weak by comparison. He should be, at the absolute bare minimum, as strong as Goku Black. He has phasing hacks. He has rapid aging. He could literally age Goku Black into dust, which is what I really want this death to be if they don't include fused Zamasu. He's got time. He can time travel. Goku Black can too. I think Thawne's is better. I know Goku Black has the time ring, which should be resistant to like that kind of time travel, but I think the negative speed force, from what I've heard, it counters the time ring and basically makes it useless. So that should be no problem at all. And even if they go with fused and infinite Zamasu, Thawne can just straight up nuke timelines. Like the way they killed Zamasu, I think, was just them destroying that universe, or at least like erasing him from the timeline or something like that, which is something Thawne easily can do. And on top of that, to be expected with a Flash, he is leaps and bounds and all of that stuff faster than Goku Black. Thawne should just straight up be like immeasurable. Like he's so fast that you can't really measure how fast he is. Because like he should be comparable to Barry and Wally, who outran people who could teleport. You don't outrun teleportation. That's another debate, whether or not Thawne should be comparable to Wally. He should, at the very bare minimum, be comparable to Barry. Wally was a bit of a different debate. To me, from what I've seen, he should be comparable to regular Wally, like, but not unmoored Wally, which outran the Speed Force. So yeah, I would go further, but that's about the basis of what I know about this fight. Reverse Flash is stronger, faster, has hacks up the wazoo with the negative Speed Force. There's no way. I don't see a single way Goku Black can win. But, of course, it's possible that I and many others might have missed something. So, I say we watch this episode and see what happens. Bit of audio desync there, but okay, it's fine now.
Goku Black, the body-stealing arbiter of divine justice.
And the Reverse Flash, DC's psychopathic speedster fanboy.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
But I'd say the sincerest form of flattery is not trying to kill your superhero husbando. He's with...
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Kind of similar to Deadpool versus Deathstroke's opening. Okay.
What consumes the thoughts of a god? What do immortals dream of with all the time in the world? In Zamasu's case, his one goal was divine justice.
Yeah, this guy's got major Final Fantasy big bad energy all over him.
As the assistant
Yeah.
to Universe 10's Supreme Kai, Zamasu prized, above all else, cosmic order and natural beauty.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you know I can burp and fart at the same time? Here, let me try.
Unsurprisingly, Zamasu despised the inherently chaotic nature of mortals, being seemingly unwilling to lift themselves out of their own cycle of violence and stupidity, like some people I know.
I mean, he's not
People do. His
terribly
heart
wrong.
was clouded. Until the day he met Son Goku.
With God Ki, Goku could match blows with the god of destruction, Beerus. Their clash nearly destroyed the entirety of Universe 7, a cosmological structure at least 9 times larger than our own universe.
As determined in Beerus versus Galaxia. Yep.
13 times greater than ours. Side note, it's worth mentioning that when 2 gods of destruction fought, they were capable of casually destroying 2 of these universes.
And since the shockwaves from their punches traveled across Universe 7 in seconds, they'd have to be hitting way faster than light.
Goku was tapping into his Super Saiyan God form for this, though clearly not at its full strength. While the exact multiplier for Super Saiyan Blue is unknown, Toriyama himself has directly compared it to the original Super Saiyan form.
And don't forget, Goku trained with Whis and fought in the tournament with Universe 6 before Zamasu caught up with him. So by that time, he was way stronger.
Here was a mortal with the powers of gods beyond even
This
Zamasu's
editing
abilities.
is absurd.
Someone who could bring his dreams to fruition.
So Zammy did what anyone would do in that situation. Kill his master to become the Supreme Kai, wish on the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with Goku, and kill every single mortal in the universe.
And thus the deity Zamasu became Goku Black.
Please, Goku Black? You couldn't be more creative.
Oh, you might be wondering
Yeah,
why didn't
not very a
wish
creative
all the
name.
mortals dead, but that wouldn't be as fun, would it? Black's got all of Goku's strength and powers, but wielded by a genocidal maniac instead of that lovable goober of a
Flying
monkey man.
pigs,
And
what?
in keeping with
Okay.
Goku's Saiyan heritage and godly ki, Black can easily achieve the form of Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
But with a
Just call it Super
champagne
Saiyan Blue,
twist.
please.
Super Saiyan Rose.
Rosé? Really? What is he, a suburban wine mom? Watch out before he unlocks Super Saiyan Live, Laugh, Love! He stole Goku's techniques too, like the instant transmission, where he focuses on a person's key signature to teleport to their location. He's even got the Black Kamehameha.
Okay, I don't
which is
see
a Kamehameha,
Infinite or Fused
but
Zamasu yet.
pink.
And with a Saiyan body, he gets stronger and stronger every time he almost dies. He just becomes harder and harder to kill.
Which really sucks for the rest of the universe, because Black
Yeah.
is kinda like if Goku just snapped one day and used his powers to their full murderous potential.
Like the God Split Cut, where he surrounds his hands with a Keyblade to slice you to ribbons. He used this
Keyblade?
technique to, kill Goku's family.
He can even extend
Yeah.
his blade into a huge curved one called the Azure Dragon Sword, which, along with his Kamehameha, confirms my suspicions that Goku is colorblind.
Actually, Black's Azure Dragon Sword is named after a legendary weapon wielded by one of Earth's greatest warriors, the Desert Bandit Yamcha. Wait, what?
And
Wait,
he can
what?
use a scythe and slice open space-time itself to create a bunch of shadow clones. Black, not Crater Boy over here, but his most dastardly key technique at all. It's the time ring he got from his dead master.
This ring allowed
There we
Black
go.
to travel through time and even escape into Future Trunks' alternate timeline, where he had free reign over the entire universe.
And let him team up with his best bud, himself.
Oh boy.
Goku and company showed up to spoil the fun. But wait, isn't Zamasu in Goku's body? How are there 2 Gokus? There's only one Goku in the multiverse, right? But Goku met Black before he met Zamasu, which means Black existed before Zamasu came up with the idea. And then they killed Zamasu before he could do it anyway, but Goku Black was still around? What the hell is going on?
Sure, it's a classic grandfather's paradox. The thing is, Black's time ring prevents him from being affected by alterations to his own personal timeline. So, killing him in the past doesn't change his future, and vice versa. He's almost impossible to kill because even if you do it at one point in time, he still exists at another point in time. and another, and another, and another, and another.
Oh God, I hate time travel. Black has
Yeah.
Saiyans like Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. Hell, even
Okay, fused with
Goku
Zamasu to become one with
even
time.
merged with the universe to become one with everything. Like I said, major Final Fantasy villain vibes here.
It took Zeno, the Omni King, the most powerful being in all of creation, to step in and erase that entire timeline just to stop Black's rampage. How ironic. Zamasu's higher calling was the eradication of all mortal life in the universe, and he stole the strongest mortal's body to do it. But in the end, he was always doomed to fail. His quest for power meant nothing against a being that would always be stronger no matter what he did or who he was.
And the universe ended up being destroyed anyway. It's like one big cosmic joke with no one left to laugh.
You've been running around making messes for too long, and now I'm going to choke the life from you. I can't wait to watch you die.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like they're going with Infinite Zamasu?
The Flash is one of the
Could be
greatest
wrong.
heroes
I may
in
have
history,
misinterpreted that.
inspiration to many across time and space.
All right, Thawne.
There's no better example than his #1 fan from the 25th century,
Eobard Thawne.
Right, Wiz, we've tackled a lot of stupid names for things in our years here at Death Battle, but I'm confident that Eobard is the dumbest f***ing first name I've ever heard in my life. Eobard was completely obsessed with the Flash and dedicated his whole life to studying the Speed Force like a total nerd. Good luck to him, because there's no way he's figuring that shit out.
But something irrevocably changed the day he discovered a time capsule from the 21st century. By some strange coincidence, it just so happened to contain Barry's costume. By experimenting on it,
How does that work?
the Flash's powers, turning himself into a mirror of his idol.
And you can bet he totally crapped himself when Barry Senpai showed up in the future and took him under his wing. It was a dream come true.
Until
That
Barry
art is
realized that Thawne had fabricated crimes in
creepy.
order to show up and save the day. Disgraced, Thawne promised to better himself before traveling to the past to prove his worth to his hero, to prove that their bond was special.
That's when Thawne found out that Barry already had a best friend, and a family, and a life. Without him, he didn't matter. He wasn't special. He was just a nobody Barry tossed out in the trash and forgot about. Like my Tinder dates do to me.
If only. When Thawne visited the Flash Museum in Barry's time, he discovered the
Yeah.
secret identity to Flash's greatest enemy that in his future had been lost to time. The one Barry was fated to kill in battle. Eobard Thawne. Wait a minute.
Whoa, ain't that a bitch? The shock drove
Well, that's convenient.
If he could be Flash's best friend, he'd be his greatest enemy. And I guess also ensure
Dislikes and dislikes.
He would travel
That's
from the
great.
future to terrorize the Flash family in the past. Revenge in reverse. He'd become the Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash. We're really setting the world on fire with these names today, huh, Wiz?
Yeah.
He draws his powers from the negative Speed Force, which he generates with every step he takes, just like Barry does with the regular Speed Force. The negative Speed Force gives Thawne access to many of the Flash's powers, including his mind-bending super speed, enough to travel all across time and space in days. He can keep up with and surpass other speedsters like Barry and Wally.
Who once ran fast enough to cross the universe faster than two gods who could teleport. Wally even beat
Yep.
himself in a race, and Barry admitted Thawne was still faster than that. Wait just a second, he beat himself? That doesn't even make sense.
But unlike Barry and Wally, Thawne applies his powers more catastrophically, using them to their full potential without any care for collateral. Take, for instance, his ability to vibrate himself through solid objects.
Objects like, say, vital organs. And
Yep.
if he did, he'd scramble their molecules, causing instant death. Thawne did just that to Barry's wife, Iris, and Barry did not appreciate it.
Thawne's vibrations are so powerful, he can even produce a counterforce that can reverse the destruction of the entire universe.
Pretty crazy sounding, but even B-Team
How does that work?
Cognets can do the same kind of thing. And when Barry and Wally raced each other, they were tearing up the entire multiverse.
Thawne can create shockwaves with a snap, phase into your body, and possess you, and even speak at such high speeds that you'll hear his words as though they were your own thoughts. And instead of stealing your speed like other Flashes, he can steal your time.
Yeah, Thawne can yoink decades from your life and age you 80 years in just a few seconds. Kinda sounds like your sex life, huh, Wiz?
But Thawne's greatest ability is his unmatched skill at time travel, and he uses this expertise to be as petty and cruel as humanly possible.
Thawne wasn't a dummy. He knew that if he went back in time to kill Barry before he got his powers, he'd erase himself from the time stream too. So instead, he'd just make Barry's life suck as hard as he could, push him down some stairs, retcon his best friend from history, kill his mom. He even told Barry he'd go back in time and adopt him as his own son. Dude, what the fuck?
That's another big difference between Thawne and Barry. Whereas Barry only went back in time to save his mother's life, Thawne often went back in time to try to fix his own mediocre life. He killed his more successful younger brother, his career rival at the Flash Museum, and every single boyfriend his crush had until there was no one left but him.
And when she still rejected him, he went back in time again and made her an invalid for the rest of her life. Jesus Christ! This guy's a monster. But wait,
Yeah.
that's impossible. Grandpappy paradox or whatever. If he went back in time to kill someone, they'd be dead in the future, which means
Which means he'd never know them and want to go back in time in the first place, right?
Wiz, maybe time is a construct with no legitimate unit of measurement other than the meager attempts man has made to understand the incomprehensible world around him.
Well, actually, Thawne was just inside the time stream when Barry initiated Flashpoint, which rewrote the universe while Thawne was technically disconnected from it. So, Thawne essentially broke. Literally, figuratively, mentally, physically, temporally.
Or maybe he just hated Barry so much it defied the laws of time itself. Whoa.
Specifically, he became a living paradox,
Yep.
a being without a past or future, literally without continuity. Not only did this mean he'd be unaffected by changes to his past, it made him effectively immortal.
Stabbed in the chest by evil Batman, vaporized by Iris in some sweet, sweet payback, or getting Dr. Manhattaned by the big blue god dong himself. Thawne was always reborn, unable to stay dead.
But more than anything, it made him immune from consequences.
Unlike Barry, whose changes to time could destroy all of reality, Thawne could do whatever he wanted. He was impossible to stop, with no reason to hold back.
He survived a hit from Barry while he had the entire Speed Force absorbed into him, and even Wally's infinite mass punch, which has the mass of a white dwarf star.
Yep.
A white dwarf is essentially the remains of a star's ultra-dense core, which has a mass of over 2 octillion tons.
And he took one of those to the noggin and just took a nap. Man, he must really hate Barry if a sun to the face can't take him down.
But he doesn't hate Barry. All of his schemes, all of his machinations, all of his insane timeline-shattering threats, all of it was because it was the only way he could think of to spend time with his hero.
That's really sad.
His costume
Yeah.
says it all. He never intended to be the Reverse Flash. He wanted to be the Kid Flash. All Thawne ever really desired was to be by Barry's side.
In the end, though, goody little Two Shoes Barry forgave him, and then vibrated away his living paradox powers, erasing him from existence.
Though not entirely. Barry didn't kill Thawne, he reset his timeline, removing the one thing driving his hatred, his relationship with Barry. Without that, Thawne was a normal, happy Flash fan once again.
It's comics, Wiz. He'll be
Huh.
back. And when he does,
Oh yeah, he'll be back. But, like,
he'll always be faster. He'll always catch you. And time is always on his side.
Still think you can take me? Even death can't catch me.
that was nice of Barry, actually.
Run your data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
And pause. Yeah, I'm still going with Thawne. I'm sorry for the big cut. I realized my camera wasn't recording for part of that, and I don't know why. And I don't know when it stopped because I have the episode on full screen. And then my earbuds started acting up, and I don't know what happened, and I don't know how it reverted itself because I didn't do jack squat. But okay, yeah, I'm still going with Thawne. I really don't see any way Goku Black can win, especially if they're not using... Again, I might have misinterpreted it, but especially if they're not using Infinite Zamasu, or Fused Zamasu. And even then, I still think Thawne wins. Yeah. I don't think Goku Black has anything that can put Thawne down for good. Even by Death Battle's rules, I think even if Black were to somehow, by some miracle, kill Thawne, another Thawne would just come out, or just pop up out of nowhere and be like, hey, guess who's back? So yeah, I really don't see much of a reason why I paused it, aside from the fact that my everything technology broke, including my English. That's not part of technology. You know what? I don't care anymore. But yeah. Still going with Thawne. But I guess I can talk about what I saw in the preview, because I did see the preview. So far it looks pretty good. I was told, I didn't tell anyone to tell me, but apparently someone just really Richard just decided to DM me about it again. Black is being voiced by Michael Kovac, however the heck you pronounce his name, who's the voice of Shazam in his death battle, which is interesting. And then Thawne, I'm really, really happy they're doing this. Thawne is being voiced by Valentine Stokes. Now, for those who don't know, you may have seen the meme going around with Reverse Flash. The whole "it was me, Barry," that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Yeah, that was voiced over by this guy, by Valentine Stokes. And it helps too that he's voiced on Rooster Teeth stuff before. He was Ace in his death battle. He was Ambrosius in Ruby. So yeah, he does work for he does stuff for Rooster Teeth. So it was never out of the question if they would bring him back, and it sounds like they did. So I'm really happy for that. So yeah, I have nothing more to add. Reverse Flash wins. He so very much wins. I don't see any more reason to delay. Let's get into this episode. Oh, before I forget, no one's probably gonna watch this segment, but this discussion segment. But I should say I do know what the next time is. I do know what the next episode is because they revealed it at RTX and in the teaser that I mentioned earlier. So yes. So in case anyone's wondering, why didn't you react to this in such a big way? It's such a crazy matchup. It's because I already knew. Yeah. I'm going for Thawne. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't go for Thawne. Let's watch this episode.
It was me, Barry. I was the one who...
Had to throw a "it was me, Barry" part in there, didn't they? Nice.
Mortals, sinners, prepare for divine justice.
Hi, I'm Goku Black. I'm gonna kill everybody. Thawne immediately goes for the T. Because he's British. Goku Black is British. Oh yeah, and this music slaps. Also, gonna guess Doc Brown. And previewing's here. Oh, okay.
Is it not beautiful?
Jeez! Good grief.
Incoming genius! I'll end this fight before it even began. Death in reverse!
Magnificent. Mortals, sinners, prepare for divine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh.
Why aren't you dead?
Oh boy. I forgot he could clone himself. What?
Stand atop all things and look down upon creation itself. That is the work of a god!
Empty threats to a living paradox!
How truly foolish.
Oh.
Was that important?
Ow.
How fun.
Did he just destroy the solar system?
Send enough people to that sun, we really should have a timeshare.
This was a fairly tricky matchup to figure out, least of all for their incredible levels of power.
Black could destroy a universe like ours
That was insane.
60 times over. I mean, a punch at least as big as a star is really badass, but that's in another league.
However, there was a lot more to cover than just how many stars or universes they could blow up. At their peak, both Goku Black and Reverse Flash were so impressive they were removed from time itself, becoming living paradoxes, making any attempt to kill either of them meaningless.
Stupid time travel.
It's difficult to determine who would figure out a counter to this temporal invincibility first, but it would most likely rely on a combination of speed and smarts.
As far as speed
Which
goes,
Thawne has
it's
both
no
of.
surprise Thawne definitely had the edge. Yeah, Black's attacks could reach speeds quintillions of times faster than light, but Thawne is a Flash.
Even early in his career as a member of the Flash family, Wally West could reach speeds that were impossible to comprehend and calculate. There are numerous examples of this for multiple iterations of the Flash, many of whom Thawne was clearly equal to.
Plus, he's kind of an expert when it comes to timey-wimey bullshit.
And he could likely overpower Black and destroy said time ring too. After all, Thawne once generated enough energy to counter the destruction of the entire DC universe, which is stated in comics to be at least 100 trillion light years in diameter. That's over 1 billion times larger than our own universe, and over 70 million times larger than Dragon Ball's Universe 7.
It's sort of
Yep.
impossible to lock down the exact limits of Goku Black's upper strength without getting into lots of assumptions and guesswork. He's obviously stronger than Goku was when he clashed with Beerus, but even being super generous with training and power boosts and multipliers, the gap here is way too wide to be able to just assume Goku Black could match this level of power. The DC universe is just too big. And remember, Barry and Wally's race almost ripped apart the entire DC multiverse.
It's also important to stress that Goku Black is not Goku. Goku's drive and willpower can push through even the most absurd limits to potentially match higher levels of power. Zamasu took Goku's body because he's more than willing to take shortcuts. It's an entirely different mindset.
Yeah, and once he took care of that time ring, Reverse Flash had a lot more options than just overpowering Black. With that super speed, he could pretty easily scramble Black's insides or age him to death with a touch. Zamasu may have been a deity even without the time ring, but Goku's body is mortal with a limited range of age. Might have really screwed yourself with that one, huh, Zam Zam?
Goku Black was a nightmarish foe, but Thawne's experience with time travel, ridiculous levels of hacks, and frankly impossible speed gave him the means to take the win.
This fight was definitely not sunderwhelming.
The winner is the Reverse Flash.
I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Death Battle. If you
That's what I'm saying.
watch, season 2 of Last Laugh is available right now on Rooster Teeth.
All right, and in case anybody has been living under a rock this whole time,
Trying their hardest not to. If you laugh, you're out. Watch the first episode right now by clicking the video on the side.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Oh no.
Oh yeah!
oh boy.
He is just as
No, stop. It stopped again? hold on. Hold on. I don't see any reason why. Oh gosh, dang it! Okay, so I think I figured out the reason why my camera keeps cutting out. And you never see my reaction in the entire episode. Yay! You know what? Forget the camera. I'll try to remember that for the next episode. Yeah, Thawne wins. Kind of obvious in hindsight, but, I won't deny this was a fantastic episode. I like this a lot. It was just... It kept me guessing on what was going on, and I kind of like that, actually. So... Yeah, I don't really have much more I can say in this one. It was a fantastic episode. Animation was great. The result, as obvious as it was nice to see. The music's great. The voice acting was great. I have no complaints. This was a great episode. And I am cautiously optimistic for Macho Man versus Kool-Aid Man. I'm gonna go into it. Here's the thing. Joke episodes, like episodes like this, are not really my cup of tea. And I also saw that Wiz and Boomstick are showing up in the actual animation, and I kind of hope that doesn't lead anywhere. I would fear it goes. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Macho Man vs. Kool-Aid Man is episode 150. And we'll just have to see how that goes. I have no I don't really have much of a say in who I would like to see win. I guess if I had to pick one, Kool-Aid Man, I guess. Yeah, I guess Kool-Aid Man. And I have no idea who wins. I've heard a lot of different arguments for both. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So I'll leave it off for now on who I think is going to win. And we'll just have to see what comes up for that. So yeah, I have nothing more to say. This was a solid episode. And I'm cautiously excited for the next one. So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you can understand I hope you can understand the technical issues I've been having. And I will try my absolute hardest to make sure it's fixed for the next one. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.